You are now entering the world of Musings of a Geek podcast network. Stay geeky, my friends.
Welcome to History of Bad Ideas, episode number 41. We are live, well, recording this live, in Miamitown for the Paranormal Festival. I'm Jason.
I'm Jeff.
I'm Nick.
Nick is here.
Still here.
Still here. Still here.
Yes.
Without the ball gag.
No ball gag.
Well, Blake is on special assignment right now.
He is on special assignment.
He's walking around the fest and he's getting some. Well, I suppose Jeff Morris is giving a speech, so Blake is there seeing if we can get some audio clips to post on here.
And Blake and I just went on a ghost tour.
How was the ghost tour, Jay?
It was pretty cool. It was a shortened version because of the people here and coming and going.
Yeah.
But it's in Miamitown, and it was kind of interesting. It was very interesting. In the building we're at now, the Historical Society Town Hall here, there is a ghost named Eve. So you're supposed to say hi, Eve. Hi, Eve.
Hi, Eve.
Hi, Eve.
So well, we'll see. The guy that was running it, he said the tour. He said that basically she would only talk to women, and that an EVP, and every time that the men talked, they wouldn't respond because it would light up one or two, and so they got out of the room and the women asked the questions and she would respond. She was 30 to 40, married with no kids, and supposedly you can hear footsteps upstairs and there's nobody up there. It's pretty much closed off, so just a little interesting.
All right.
So, but then there was talking about the pet cemetery. Is that Idris Elba?
I thought those were the footsteps upstairs, but
So the oldest pet cemetery from 1876.
ever?
Well, Guinness Book World Record says Paris has the oldest one in like 1880 something, but if you go up on Mount Hope Road there, it's actually 1876, so we technically have the oldest one here.
But Guinness won't acknowledge it?
I guess not.
Stupid Guinness.
Or nobody paid Guinness to come take a look at it.
Oh, that could be.
But I guess it started because a baby elephant died crossing the river and from the traveling circus back in the 1870s.
Oh, wow.
And so they buried it there, and then kids just started burying animals. I've seen that Stephen King movie. That's not good, going to end well. All I'm saying is if I have an elephant running past my house that's a ghost, I'm going to be quite upset.
Elephant ghosts sound pretty cool.
So,
Yeah, I think elephant ghosts should be like the next thing in the smash-up game. We need to get elephants so we can get them with the ghosts.
yeah.
I can beat you in that with elephant ghosts.
Not with bear pirates.
Bear pirates I can't beat you with, but elephant ghosts
I do have to
could.
admit, I really like that smash-up game. I really do. I don't know if your sister does.
Well, she won the last time we
She
played.
keeps winning, but I don't know if she likes it.
Well, she plays. If
That's
she didn't
true.
like it, she wouldn't play.
So Nick and I were just talking about, during a break here, about the Mothman on the cover on this program here for the Paranormal Fest.
Yeah.
And that is a creepy-ass movie.
I never did see the movie.
Nick? Back me
I
up.
told Jason here, I saw it and had to drive. I was probably like 20 minutes away from home on some back roads. The back roads of Cincinnati, yeah, that it is. But they are some of the back roads, and the whole time driving home from after seeing that at like 2 o'clock in the morning, it's enough to stand the hairs up on your neck a little bit.
It's just creepy.
Yeah.
And then Richard Gere was involved, so it's extra
that's
creepy.
Also creepy. Yeah. Oh, isn't our friend Bob, not Bob Holt, but our other friend Bob, listener of the show, or at least used to be. If you're still listening, Bob, send us a shout.
Yeah.
But he's from the area where the
Yes.
original Mothman took place or whatever.
Yeah, it was
the
close
bridge.
to Pennsylvania, Wheeling?
Portsmouth,
Yeah.
Ohio.
Not Pennsylvania,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Portsmouth, pretty much on the Ohio River, kind of between Ohio and West Virginia out there. And
Yeah.
Near the corner of where Ohio, West Virginia, and Pennsylvania meet. A little bit south of that.
The tri-state, 3 states.
Sure, that tri-state.
I'm making that up.
Well, I suppose where every 3 states meet, it's a tri-state.
That's right. Let's see here. A couple listener questions. Graphic Novice wants to know, who would you make love to if they were a ghost? What ghost? I'm a little scared.
I think you... Is that how it was worded?
You could make
Sweet love. You didn't say sweet love. I'm like...
To one
to
ghost.
one ghost. Not if they were a ghost.
If they were, yeah.
To one ghost.
I don't know how to answer that, and I'm kind of creeped out by it.
Well, is there a ghost in
No.
pop culture or
No.
literature or
No.
anything that you'd say, hey man, that's a hot ghost?
Nick?
You want Beetlejuice, Jay? You can have Beetlejuice.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
I'm trying to think of a ghost off the top of my head, and I'm not coming up with anything.
Well, the only ghost
Pennywise? Oh, she was an alien.
The only ghost I could think of was like Gina Davis from Beetlejuice.
She was a ghost? Oh, yeah, her
in-
and Michael Keaton. No, not Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
Baldwin?
Yeah, Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, I hate you, Alec Baldwin.
But I don't think I want to make sweet love to her or
Maybe
him.
Maybe Alec Baldwin.
So I'm trying to think of other good ghosts. There really aren't a whole lot of attractive ghosts out there, are there?
No.
Bill Cosby from Ghost.
Ghost Dad. Patrick Swayze.
Yeah, he just
How about
doesn't
the guy
have...
that trains him, the guy on the subway with the crazy hair?
I'm trying to think if I'd rather make sweet love to Patrick Swayze than the crazy
He
haired
did
guy.
have some good
on the-
abs back in the day.
Back in the day.
What about, are there any Christmas Story ghosts from any recent
Carol
Christmas
Kane
Story?
from Scrooge. I'd rather do the Wolfman Taxi guy from Scrooge.
David Johansen?
Is that who it was? Wasn't he supposed to be a next big comedian?
No, he's known as Buster Poindexter.
Oh, that's right. Carol Kane was supposed to be the next big thing. That didn't work. And then they were like, why are we listening to her? She's annoying. Okay, from Dan Zisco, at Dan Zisco. Inky, Pinky, Blinky, or Clyde? Which one is your favorite from the
Clyde.
Pac-Man?
Or was he actually asking which one of these ghosts would you make sweet love to?
No, I think it's which one's your favorite. We're
Oh,
going-
okay. Sue,
Who's Sue?
the ghost from Ms. Pac-Man.
Oh, okay. Well, he's picking these for him.
Oh,
Which one do you like as your favorite?
well, I wanted Sue, but...
Tough. That was an option. Okay, who's Inky? Is he purple?
Yeah, I think Inky would be the
Pinky is
bluer
pink.
one. Blinky is red. Clyde is orange.
Okay.
Well, if you base it off of the cartoon, I'll take Clyde because he wore the bowler hat.
Oh, okay.
I'm just going to take Clyde because he doesn't rhyme with the rest of them.
I'm going with Inky because I like Inky. Just the name. Inky.
Okay.
Let's see here. I think Dr. Number One also has sent in something by Twitter. Jeff, you got my phone over there? We can get.
Let's
Let's
see
see
here.
here. Of course, Nick's knocking things over. What are you doing, Nick? Jeez.
You're making Jeff reach for stuff, and he doesn't have his reaching stick.
That's true, and he has raptor arms, so it's kind of fun to watch. So let's see here, Mr. Dr. Number One. I don't have anything. Okay, anyways, let's see here. Okay, here we go. Over the past few days, I've seen most of it, if not all of the Wolverine.
Okay.
Am I wrong, or is the post-credit scene the best part?
You're wrong. Oh, well, that's what he asked, wasn't it?
I thought the ninja scene could have been really good. And
I-
supposedly in the uncut version, it's really good.
Okay, well, maybe I'll have to see that. I don't think...
I did watch Wolverine on one of the many basic cable channels that show nothing.
Yeah.
It's not as good as I remembered. I liked it a lot better the first time.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it until, I thought it got a little ridiculous at the end. I didn't like the old guy in the big suit and all that.
Yeah,
in
the Silver
big
Samurai, 'cause that was
samurai
not-
suit. I mean, I didn't like that ending to it, but I mean, I enjoyed, the chase scene on the bullet
subway,
train.
the bullet train, yeah, that was good.
That was good. The introductory, I thought the beginning of it was great. When he tracks the bear and then has to go after finding the guy who poisoned the bear, and I thought it really opened up well. As it went on, it got a little worse.
It was better
and
than
worse.
X-Men Origins.
Not much was worse.
I did like his sidekick in it.
Yukio.
Yukio, yeah, I liked her a lot.
Yes.
Can she be in the next X-Men? That would be nice.
Or give her own movie.
I'd be fine with that too. So, well, it's not Warner Brothers. They probably could. On a side note, they did come out with Everything Wrong, the website Everything Wrong with, whatever movie it.
Yeah, those are funny.
Came out with Godzilla this week.
Oh, the new one?
Yes, I was not happy. Let's just say
did you get hurt your ego there?
it did hurt not my ego. It hurt my taste. And I was like, what the hell? But it was funny because every time they were about ready to fight, the narrator was like, okay, here we go. Godzilla's ready to. Why are you showing me something else? Why are you showing me something else? I want to go back to the fight. Why are you not showing me? And then the next time they're like, okay, Godzilla, he's got the fight down. What the hell? I don't care about this kid. Go back to the fight. And it was like, oh, they did do that. Yeah. And then at the end when he shoots the laser beam or the energy beam into the Muto at the end, he's like, hey, he's pretty badass. You know what would have been better if he was in it for more than 5 minutes.
Yeah, pretty much everything wrong with that movie you can just sum up in 5 minutes of Godzilla.
Yeah. It was a shame. I really like Godzilla. I still do. I had some issues with him turning away from the action scenes. I get that. I think they're going to change that in the sequel.
Well, they do that with the everything wrong with it. You'll take your favorite movie, and I mean, you know there's going to be nitpicky things, and it's funny to watch. I enjoy those little.
I think they even did Captain America 2. And I'm like, how can you do Captain America 2?
Yeah, well, they'll find something to complain about it.
They did do Amazing Spider-Man 2, and that was pretty funny.
I still have yet to see the Amazing
Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2.
They gave us Sin to Philip Phillips' song.
Sin. You put in Phil Phillips. All right.
Let's see here. Kind of going by the seat of our pants here. Since Blake's not here, do you guys want to draft the Scooby-Doo team?
Did Blake want to draft the Scooby-Doo team?
I don't know.
Oh.
Well, I have Blake's notes right here, so we can just look at his notes.
Let's look at his notes. See what he's got. Does he have Scooby-Doo's? Let's see here. Nope, he doesn't. Okay, so let's draft Scooby-Doo.
All right.
Do we have music for that?
Oh, yes, we do.
Yay!
Cue the bumper.
Okay, so draft day. Since Blake's not being a willing participant, he's on a special assignment. Let's see here. We're going to, this is from me, draft the Scooby-Doo gang. And I don't think it's completely for me because we've talked about it before.
We've talked about Scooby-Doo a lot.
So we're going to draft them. If you've never been here at our show before, basically we take a team and redraft them.
All right.
And with anybody you want, fictional, real, doesn't matter anymore.
Doesn't matter anymore. You just put whoever you want there.
So, and we don't need much description. If you don't know Scooby-Doo, stop the podcast and go watch it. Shaggy, the stoner. Scooby-Doo, the dog. Velma, the genius of the group, who always loses her glasses. Can't see anything without my glasses. Daphne, the idiot, I guess, basically. She wears an ascot scarf.
No, Fred wears the ascot.
Well, I know Fred wears an ascot, but Daphne wears something.
She wears a scarf. She's supposed to be the beauty of the gang, I suppose.
And then Fred is the leader of the group, but kind of a douche.
Yeah.
Okay, so Nick, you go first. Who are you drafting?
I'm going to start off with Shaggy.
Okay.
And I'm going to go with Wooderson from Dazed and Confused.
Okay. Jeff, who you got? I'll let you go second.
Oh, you will? You'll let me?
Yes.
Oh, you'll allow me?
I will allow you.
Let's see. Who do I have?
Good podcasting radio.
Maybe I'll go Scooby-Doo.
Okay.
And I suppose I need another talking dog.
You do Scrappy, I'm going to smack you.
I was that close to actually doing Scrappy.
Who are you using?
Scooby-Dum.
Oh, I could do Scooby-Dum. Dum, 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 dum.
Would you just pick?
No.
Oh.
I don't know who I'm picking yet.
Okay, you're going to lose your time. You got 5 seconds.
Oh, no.
Hurry.
Oh, no.
4, 3, 2.
I'll take Dino Mutt.
Who?
Dino Mutt from Blue Falcon and Dino Mutt.
Okay, well, anyways, moving on.
Oh, I didn't say it was going to be a good one.
You should have just let that go. I'm going to pick Scooby-Doo too.
Okay.
And I'm not picking a talking dog. I'm going a little evil. Cujo.
We see how you're going.
I got Cujo. You want to mess with me, Ghost? I'm going to eat you.
Well, I'll go Scooby-Doo then,
Okay.
but I'm not going to follow Jason's lead.
Scooby-Doo.
Well, yeah, I would say after Jason picks that one, I'm just going to pick the Old Yeller. I can pick Old Yellers.
Before
but
or after rabies?
That's not what I'm going to go with.
Oh.
I'm going to continue on my trend, and you'll see it recurring. I'm going to go with Slater from Dazed and Confused. The stoner companion to Shaggy.
Is he a dog?
Wooderson.
So I can't take Slater for Shaggy now.
You can take AC Slater.
I think I'll go with my Fred.
Okay.
I'm going to take Ted Mosby.
That's a good one.
One of the biggest douchebags in television.
Yeah.
I think, that will work for Fred.
I'm going Daphne.
Okay.
And this is just something easy. I'm going Tara Reid. Just the real one.
Oh. I don't know. I think that's an insult to Daphne.
Sorry. Or fine. I can take her as the scientist in Alone in the Dark. What do you want? I was annoyed by Daphne. Not as annoying as Velma's orange outfit, though. What the hell was that?
I don't know. What was up with that?
Go ahead, Nick. Round 3.
All right, round 3, I'll start off with Velma, and I'm going with Cynthia. You gotta love those redheads.
Who's Cynthia?
The curly redheaded girl that hangs out with
In Dazed and Confused.
Dazed and
Oh,
Confused.
jeez.
You haven't caught on to that yet?
I've got it now.
The smart, brainy one. Gonna kind of possibly hook up with Shaggy. What are some?
I'm going to say your next year are going to be from Dazed and Confused.
You think?
Jeff, who's your round 3?
I think I'll go with Shaggy, and I suppose I'll just have to take the obvious Maynard G. Krebs.
Oh, I was looking at that. You did a lot of research on this one, Jeff.
I'm doing it right now at the seat of my pants.
Okay, I'll go my Shaggy. I'm going Jason Mewes. I'm going, what do you call it? His character in...
Jay?
Yeah, Jay. Thank you. I'm going Jay from the Kevin Smith movies.
I can see that.
Yeah, I was proud of that one. And Cujo. Jay and Cujo.
Cujo.
Nick, round 4.
Yep, I'm gonna go with Daphne, and
Okay.
I was kind of crossed here whether I should go with Simone or Joedy because it'll tie back to my Fred. But I think the more inept one here would be the Simone character, so I'll go with Simone.
Okay. That was a really tough one.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Feel the excitement. Jeff, round 4?
Yeah, I'm just going to go completely stupid. And
Because your other picks have been great.
Oh, this is going to be worse than the other picks. For my Velma, I'm going to pick, I don't even know the character's name, but it was the annoying kid from Jerry Maguire. Who had
the 8-pound kid?
Yeah.
Who you going with that?
For Velma.
Oh, okay.
Because he has glasses.
Okay, well, I'm going my Velma. I'm going Laura Dern's character from Jurassic Park, the archaeologist.
Okay.
I can't remember the name, but I'm going with her. I think she would fit.
No, yeah, his name was Dr. Grant. I can't remember
I can't
her
remember.
name.
Yeah, I can't. Ellie Sadler. That's who it was.
Okay, there you
Dr.
go.
Ellie Sadler. She could have been one of the doctors.
She could
Of
have.
the last episode, Dr.
So could
Mash.
what's the
Dr. Grant?
yeah? Well, no,
Same
the
Ian Malcolm?
yeah.
Could have been Dr. Ian Malcolm. He was a douchebag too. Okay, so Blake, Nick, hi.
Hi, Jason.
You've only been
It's
sitting
Nick.
next to me all day. Last round.
Fred,
Yes.
of course, has to be Randall Pink Floyd.
I thought the same thing. God.
I know I took him from you, but
Okay,
All
well,
right.
I am going with...
Oh, you're jumping right over
Oh,
me?
sorry.
I still have one
Your
left.
picks are awful.
Oh, they are awful. And this is just as bad.
Okay.
For my Daphne, I'm going to go with Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Wow.
Mainly
Okay.
because Sarah Michelle Gellar played both of them
Yes.
in the movies.
That's not a bad pick, though. I like that one.
All right.
I am going with my pick of Fred, last pick, Van Wilder.
Okay. He doesn't wear an ascot, though.
He could, but he's, smarmy.
Smarmy?
Yeah.
Is Fred smarmy?
Yeah, kind of sometimes.
Okay.
I think so.
speaking of Van Wilder, I was something that I just recently learned or came across on listening to some other podcasts.
What? You can't do that.
Well, I did. Of the actual story behind Van Wilder is from a true story of Bert Kreischer, who's a comedian. He's Bert Takes on the World, I think, on Travel Channel.
Okay.
He's got a book that's out that has some stories of while he was in college and some stuff past that. But the movie Van Wilder was actually based off his true stories of college.
Really?
Yeah, and you get to listen to it. I know he was on. He's been on a couple podcasts out there. He actually has his own podcast, something for people who are into that kind of comedy, kind of a darker humor, or a little bit more off the cuff. He's a good listen, real good stories.
what was the Van Wilder 2 Rise of Taj
based off of?
Yeah,
whose
that
life
based
was
off
that?
of?
He didn't say, he didn't.
That was
didn't go
based
into
off crap, I think. It was.
Probably.
Yeah, I think that was based off of a dump he took the day after.
The first one, Van Wilder, was good.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
Apparently, most of that is based off his true college experiences.
Wow. You went to college for 7 years?
I think
Probably.
he did.
They're called doctors.
A lot of people go to college for 7 years.
But
Yes,
if you look into it, he's got a great story about how he took Russian classes to learn Russian and ended up going to Russia, not learning Russian at all, basically getting a minor in Russian and going to Russia and getting involved with the Russian mafia.
Wow.
Yes, Nick told me that story. It's a good story. So, yeah, look it up for Bert, whatever his name is.
Kreischer.
Not Burt Wonderstone?
No.
Wonderstone?
No.
You know, side note here, speaking of Burt's, I did tape that, The Incredible Burt Wonderstone, on HBO when we had the free HBO weekend. I deleted that. I didn't even watch it.
But I thought you liked Steve Carell.
I do, but...
I mean, he can't do anything wrong.
Well, I never said that. I like Get Smart.
It was amusing.
I like Get Smart. I would not pay for another sequel. Thank God they're not yet. And supposedly, other just bouncing around because The Rock was in, Get Smart. He just signed on to play David Hasselhoff's character in a new Baywatch movie.
Pass.
Please stop making that. No reason.
Are they bringing back Yasmin Bleeth?
Oh God. Well, I'm sure you can find her somewhere. She might be at Kmart right now, so it's okay. Nick, you interested in a Baywatch movie?
Depends on who's in it.
The Rock?
Who else? Do we get Hasselhoff?
No, well, he's eating hamburgers on the ground.
David Hasselhoff abs.
Nah. I can't go for David Hasselhoff.
Kit is in it. You don't have to yell at me, Michael. I'm all around you.
Oh, did you hear? Speaking of David Hasselhoff, did you hear about that movie coming out? I can't remember what it's called, but
Kill David Hasselhoff or something. Yes.
Where I suppose Ken Jeong plays a guy who wants to win his celebrity death pool.
Yes.
So he tries to kill David Hasselhoff.
I don't know what these death pools are. I don't know.
Yeah,
I would not have participated in one before.
One. I don't know what you're talking about.
But unfortunately,
Damn Hal Holbrook.
It's been quiet this year. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, it is. Stupid Hal Holbrook. You're 96 years old. Die.
Yeah,
He's only worth 4 points now, so what's the point?
You know what he's going to do? He's going to hang on until he's 101, and I'm not going to get any.
You get
allegedly.
negative points.
Negative 1 point.
It's worth it. It's the principle. And then he shows up on Sons of Anarchy 2 seasons ago. Really? You're taunting me now.
he is. He's trying to find everything you watch and appear
And then
in
once
it.
his wife, Dixie Carter, died, I thought, or whatever her name was. Yeah. I thought, he's done. He's good as dead. His wife's gone. Oh, no, he's just kicking around. Make some more movies about going into the wild or whatever it is. Oh, yeah.
That's why you got to pick North Korean dictators.
They have a short shelf life.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
Lots of points there.
Did you? He's got gout. He might die soon.
He's got gout.
Well, with the medical advancements in North Korea, I wouldn't doubt it.
Well, we can either saw your foot off or give you a leech. You take your pick. That's for all of our North Korean listeners.
I don't.
You'll hear us in about 30 years. It's okay. Hey, did you hear David Hasselhoff is in a Baywatch movie 30 years ago? Let's see here. There's your draft, and
Oh yeah, we were doing the draft. Do we need to recap our draft?
oh yeah, sorry. I got Jay from Silent Bob. Jay and Silent Bob. I got Cujo as Scooby Doo. Laura Dern from Jurassic Park as Velma. Tara Reid as Daphne. Whichever character you want that she's played. And Van Wilder as Fred. Nick?
Yeah, I've got Wooderson as Shaggy, Slater as Scooby-Doo, Cynthia as Velma, Simone as Daphne, and Randall Pink Floyd as Fred.
Okay.
All right, I have Maynard G. Krebs as Shaggy, going for the obvious. Staying with the animated talking dogs, I got Dino Mutt as Scooby-Doo. I got the annoying kid from Jerry Maguire as Velma. I've got Buffy the Vampire Slayer as Daphne, and Ted Mosby, douchebag, as Fred.
That was an awful team you got there.
Oh, it is. It might be the worst team ever in our draft day history. But I'm going to wave my flag proud. So that's draft day. All right, and we got stopping by our table. We've got Patrick from the group Paravizionz. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you guys do, and we can go from there.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, we are based right here in Ohio. All right, so yeah, the paranormal team is based right here in Ohio. We've been around for 15 years now. I'm not the original member of the team. Originally, there was two members of our paranormal team, and they've kind of split, went different ways. And then later on, the team. Basically, what I'm saying is the teams went different directions, but there's all kinds of different people there. So we've been around, like I said, for 15 years now. I've been doing this for 7 years. I have my own team. Earlier, you were asking me how I got involved in this. Basically, I was in the military. I was stationed in Colorado Springs, Colorado. I moved in an apartment with me and my wife, my ex-wife. And during the time I was there, we had all kinds of activity, poltergeist activity, different things happening. You know, objects would be thrown, especially pennies. And I joke about this all the time. I always say, if I had 50 cents for every time a penny was thrown in my home, I would be a rich man. So yeah, that's one of the things that really got me into this, is because of what was going on in the apartment we were living in. Then later on, I went to Iraq. I deployed to Iraq, and while I was in Iraq, the first week I was there, a soldier got blown up right in front of our medical aid station. And probably about 6 months later, I was coming back from the gym, and I remember I had my headphones on. You're not supposed to be walking around with headphones on and everything, you know. And it was late at night, and I'm walking back, and I'm looking at the ground. All of a sudden, I start looking up, and kind of close by where that soldier had gotten blown up, I started seeing boots, and I started seeing legs. And when it got to the torso, there was no torso there at all. And then it faded away. So then I was questioning, you know, I was pondering what's going on, you know, and here it was in that same location where that soldier had passed away. So that, you know, and then, you know, later on I get out of the military, I come back here to Ohio. I started working at a hospital. I started having experiences at the hospital I couldn't explain. So then it was like a series of events basically happened to pull me in this direction. I said, I need to do something about it because it seems like it's always around me, you know? So I formed my own team. It was a small team at the time. And then basically we started getting bombarded with cases. And at the time, it was me doing most of the work, and I wasn't getting the help I needed. I met up with Paravizionz, and I told these guys, I said, hey, I'm a new team. I found Paravizionz on the internet. Really good website, by the way. I found them on the internet, and I called them up and said, hey, I need some help. I'm doing a case right now, and on this case right now it involves somebody that needs a lot of help. We've been to her house like 7 times. We're not getting anything. We know something's going on, but we're not getting the data we need. So could you come in and help us out? So Paravizionz comes along and helps my team out. And then eventually I ended up crossing over and coming to their team. And then, ever since then I've been paranormal investigating, and it's been going on for, like I said, 7 years now. And it's a deep passion. I can honestly say it's a deep passion of mine.
Any 1 or 2 stories that you have about the time you were doing this that really stand out, or, you know? Stand out.
Let's see. You know, I get asked that question a lot, and every year it changes. Okay. Because there's always something new. We do filming for our local TV station in Middletown, local 24 channel, and it's called Haunted Stories, and we do that once a month now. And we just did a location 2 weeks ago, and it's called the Monroe Historical Museum. And at this location, I'd have to say we've never had so much activity happen within the first hour than any investigation we've ever done. And it went on continuously all night long. You know, from hearing disembodied voices to your classic footsteps, seeing 2 of our members saw an apparition. That usually doesn't happen. It's very rare. And it's very rare that one of us will admit that we saw something and it wasn't our imagination, you know. But the activity did not stop. It went on all night long. And, you know, and then this is the first time I've ever done a case where I could feel like what that person might have felt at the time. You know, I was getting really sad. I felt like my eye had been punched, and I felt like there was pain in the back of the head. Well, it turned out that, you know, we didn't do any research on this place. Sometimes we don't do that before we go into locations. And it turned out that there was a lady who had lived in that home who, there was a picture. They had a picture of her, and we didn't know that. And it was upstairs in this room. And anyways, in the picture, you could see where she had a black eye, and the back of her head was all jacked up. It looked like there was something in the back of her head. So I'm not saying that's what I was picking up on, but it really made me stop and think, you know. Maybe there's something going on to this.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Now, is it better to go into it with not doing much research, just because you don't have these preconceived notions, and then people can't say, oh, well, you know, you read about it, so you're thinking it, or is it better to go in with all the facts on it? I mean, I would think it would be better to go kind of in between, but I mean...
Yeah, I agree. It's a catch-22. Either way you look at it, you know, every investigation team, every paranormal investigation team out there will tell you their own preference for that. But I agree, it's a catch-22, and we do both. We do both on certain ones, you know. But yeah, I personally, going in, not knowing anything, and then coming out with something that I think is the better way. Because then you know, like you said, you're not perceiving that, you know, something is going on, you know, so... You don't already have that information installed in the back of your brain, so.
And that's the thing. It's not that you're trying to. If you did the research, it's not that you're trying to think about it. But who knows how the brain works? If you start reading about it, it's going to be in the back of your head the whole time.
Right. And that's the first place, you know, I was telling you guys about. But there's one more I don't want to leave out before I get off the show.
Go for it.
And that is, believe it or not, that is basically what brought my team together, the place I was telling you about. It's the home that brought us together, where I said I needed more information, so I brought in Paravizionz.
Okay.
Well, that place, I spent the night over there, and I'll never forget this. It's probably about 2 o'clock in the morning. I wake up, and I feel like there's somebody standing close by me. And I look over just enough time to see what I think is another team member of mine who lives in that home walking by. And I see her go into the kitchen. I don't think nothing about it. But then as I start closing my eyes, I said, you know, that's kind of weird. You would think that she would look over my direction, even though I'm sleeping on the couch or whatever, and she knows I'm there, still look in that direction, you know. And I noticed something else didn't seem right. Your normal gait, your normal stride when you walk, you normally see somebody's shoulders moving back and forth. You didn't see that. What you did see was it looked like almost as if she floated by, right? So I'm waiting there, and all of a sudden I start falling back to sleep. I open my eyes up, and I look, and here she is again. But this time, she's standing in front of the TV, and this part's it's making me creeped out right now. But she's standing right in front of the TV, and she levitates 1 to 3 inches off the ground, at least. And I'm sitting there closed. I said, I got to be dreaming this, you know? I can't be awake right now. So I closed my eyes again and looked up, and sure enough, you know, I'm seeing what I'm seeing. I know what I'm seeing. So I sit there, I'm puzzled by it. So I'm getting ready to talk to her. I'm getting ready to tell her, like, Patty, that's her name. You know, I'm getting ready to tell her, like, hey, look, you okay? You're floating off the ground right now, you know? And then all of a sudden, it's kind of like the old DVD. Well, the DVD players or the VHS tapes, you know, you press fast forward and you see everything happen real fast. I saw her, as she's levitating, take off real fast and then go flying up the stairs, levitating, going fast, like Superman speed. Mm-hmm. So to me, I was very puzzled. I was very scared, because the whole time I've been doing paranormal investigations, I've never, ever seen something as crazy as that. Now, luckily for me, I had somebody else downstairs with me at the time who I thought was asleep, but they weren't. They were awake. And it's always good, you know, when you have somebody else to verify what you're seeing, you know. basically, I went back to bed, and that next morning, and I don't know how I got to bed, to tell you the truth, that next morning, I'd say it was probably around 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock. I wake up, and the first thing out of the other person who was downstairs that night said, I just saw the craziest thing last night. And I stopped him, I said, it didn't involve Patty, our investigator, did it? And she said, yes, it did. And she described everything I saw. I'm getting goosebumps right now. Everything I saw to a T. And that wasn't an investigation. That was just me spending a night at a haunted location. But since I've been doing this, that's probably one of the craziest things I've ever saw.
That one sounds very creepy.
And I never thought, we got in the paranormal language, we call that doppelganger. Okay.
Okay.
And basically, doppelganger means it's a copy of yourself. Okay. You're seeing something that looks like you or another person.
Nick's
Nick's getting the heebie-jeebies.
You want to talk about the Mothman anymore? Nick was freaking out about the Mothman earlier.
So where can people learn more about you? You got web presence and...
Okay, yeah, sure. We are located on the internet at www.paravizionz.com. Everybody likes to type in Paravizionz with S's, so I'm going to correct this right now.
Okay.
It's Paravizionz.com.
All right, with Z's. Paravizionz with Z's.
Yes.
All
and
right.
then if you're here in Ohio, you can come to Miamitown, Ohio, basically, and watch us as we do a weekly series. Well, it's monthly. We just started doing it. It's called Haunted Stories on TV Miamitown. And then you can also catch us up on the TV show called A Haunting on Destination Truth. It's coming up. Our episodes due to air, I think, sometime in early January.
Okay. If you send us a link to that, we'll put it up on our Facebook page and everything too.
Cool.
So
cool.
we'll be more than happy to do that.
Yeah.
You said earlier you guys did a internet radio show?
Yes, and we do an internet show. It's called A1 Broadcast. It's part of the Art Bell network. Art Bell is well known for Coast to Coast. It comes on AM channel. It's a branch off of his show, and it's you can go and find that on the internet as well. It's www.all and then one and then of course broadcast network.
Okay.
Well, I appreciate your time.
No problem.
Patrick.
Thank you for having me. It's been an honor.
Oh, thank you, Patrick.
Thank you.
It's time for a spooky installment of News of the Geek.
Third time's the charm there, Jeff.
Shh, they don't know that.
Are we recording now?
We are.
Okay, good. You're the worst IT guy, but it's still better than all three of us.
Yeah. I'm about to say, I'm sure there's a worse one out there than me.
The ones doing the abacus.
You get what you pay for.
Exactly.
Let's see here. Badass Digest. Badass Digest. Oh, sorry, Blake's in here with us now, too.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome, Blake.
Welcome, Blake.
I was, driving through Miamitown for the Paranormal Fest, and I just happened in on this podcast. You guys didn't tell me you were podcasting today. What's going on?
Well, we weren't trying to tell you, but, yes, we sent you emails, many emails.
I don't know. I think you were on the podcast when we kept telling everyone we were going to be here.
Oh, maybe that's why I ended up here.
It was kind of like the revised outline that we always give you.
Yeah.
They said you're going on hiatus.
Let's see. Badass Digest stating Star Wars Episode 7. Some spoilers. Spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers. I'm trying to avoid knowing anything about Star Wars.
It doesn't matter.
Jason,
do you really think this is true?
That could be.
Maybe. We're going to forget about it by next year anyways.
Yeah, probably.
Max von Sydow's mysterious role revealing that Kira, the name which is believed to be Daisy Ridley's character, is not the one to find Luke's lightsaber. It is instead a blue alien guy who brings it to the salvage yard where she discovers it. Let's see. I guess she's going to be hanging out there with Von Sydow, who is an old cyborg dude, a guy who maybe has dementia. He talks a lot of nonsense, but as soon as a lightsaber shows up, he gets lucid. He recognizes it, begins to talk about the old days. and he name drops some prequel characters. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. Let's see here.
Talks about how he can't get rid of Jar Jar Binks out of his memory. Is that why he's crazy?
There was this annoying Gungan that kept talking. Let's see here. Then Kira and the alien leave, and he makes a call to a mysterious figure and says, "It's here." So, also, Akira apparently lives in an AT-AT from The Empire Strikes Back. So, and then one more change. It shows that Chewbacca may have a cybernetic hand that he may have lost in battle at Return of the Jedi.
Oh, poor Chewie.
Where would he have lost it at the Return of the Jedi
It
battle?
says after Return of the Jedi. Not
Oh,
at
after.
Return of the
Okay,
Jedi.
I'm sorry. That was my bad, because I was going to say he was just in a
Oh, no,
walk.
the Ewoks nodded off.
Maybe. They were cannibals. Nobody remembers that.
They tried to eat. Well, they weren't eating other Ewoks. They were just eating other races.
Okay, sorry. Racist. Sorry, yeah. They were very vicious, but nobody remembers that.
But they're cute and cuddly.
No.
And they sing that great song. That's right.
Keep going. I'm waiting.
Those are the only words I know. I suppose they just repeat those words. Yep, nope, nope, nope.
Go slow.
Yep, nope.
So it's like Coldplay.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I think that's where Chris Martin got his start. Was on.
Now wait a minute. Can I put a bitch in here about Coldplay?
Oh, please
and
do.
Just let them know
Please
how
do.
Chris Martin is a douchebag.
Oh yeah.
He's a huge douchebag. You
Who's
know
he
why?
dating?
Jennifer Lawrence. That's bullcrap, man.
And did you see what came out? Supposedly, Gwyneth Paltrow has advised Chris Martin not to mention her name around their kids. I don't think you can do that.
Oh, what do you mean advised? Do you mean threatened?
Yeah. And I'm like, no, I'm not married to you for a reason, succubus.
Succubus.
Yeah, really. That's just wrong.
She looks like no fun. Sorry. Ugh. I'm sorry, they're not divorcing, they're uncoupling.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes, but they still have the apple of their eye.
Where's Nick's music there? It takes too long now, forget it.
Yeah, it's what, Apple and Moses, I think, were their children.
Yep, still waiting.
Oh.
There you go. Yeah.
The slow drum roll.
Big news, Tetris, the motion picture, not the actual title, is coming from Threshold Entertainment. The guy that produced Mortal Kombat, yes, the movie Mortal Kombat, and the sequel, promises that...
Wait a minute, hold on a second. There was an actual sequel to Mortal Kombat?
Yes.
Yes.
That
It's
first
awful.
movie was so awful. How could they afford the second
Oh,
one?
the second one's worse.
Oh my gosh.
And I don't want to hear anybody say Mortal Kombat was a good movie. It may have been when you were 12. It is not good.
What movie?
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, whoever said it was good?
Oh, it gets a lot of play, like on Twitter. That people love it.
Oh. Maybe that's why I avoid Twitter.
And Tumblr. Let's see here. He promises Tetris is a big sci-fi movie. He even told the Wall Street Journal, "This isn't a movie with a bunch of lines running around the page. We're not giving feet to the geometric shapes." What?
Then how are they going to make a Tetris movie?
There's more to Tetris than simply clearing lines. No, there really isn't.
Really,
No,
that's
there
pretty
isn't.
much all there is to Tetris.
You know, Tetris was the original Candy Crush.
Yeah.
So my question is, what the hell is this going to be about?
Probably Russian spies.
Oh, playing, and they have to get a Game Boy to somebody.
Yeah, that's probably it. to crack
And it
the
involves
code,
some
you
kind
need
of
to
Russians, that's
you
all
need
I
to
know.
beat the game, and once you get to a certain level, then you're able to break the code.
All right, so you're doing Plotlines Tetris, and we
Apparently we are.
whoever gets it before it comes out.
Yeah.
I want to do the sequel, Dr. Mario. That's the sequel. Oh, look, medicine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Now we're in a
Popping
video
pills.
game world. Woo!
It's about as good as your spooky ghost news or whatever.
Spooky.
Okay, so not only is Big, the movie with Tom Hanks, getting a TV show, we have Rush Hour with Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan, the movies. That's getting a TV show now, too.
With Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker?
No, they're not in it. Which you could probably get Chris Tucker. I don't think he's doing much, so you probably could.
Probably get Jackie Chan, because last I checked, he wasn't doing much either.
Karate Kid. Okay, so not much.
What you guys didn't hear was the blank stare I gave Jason after he said that.
Blake, you're a big fan of reboots and that, so what do you think?
No.
These
Just
aren't
no.
reboots, These are
Just no.
These are just. I mean, some of the greatest television shows were based off of movies. So,
Like what?
I mean, MASH.
Keep going.
MASH. My Mother the Car. Oh wait, no, that wasn't based off of a movie.
You could do it the other way.
Parenthood.
No.
Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Kind of. Gotham.
As Nick says smugly, patting himself on the back.
Ooh, look at you, Nick.
What you got, Jason?
I was going to the opposite end TV shows that became great movies. Flintstones.
Yeah, I don't know of. I mean, maybe the Fugitive.
Car 54, where are you?
Maybe the Fugitive.
Car
Buffy
54?
the Vampire Slayer?
Ah, that's a movie.
Ooh, that's
the TV show is much better than the movie
Oh,
was.
Nick
So
came
it didn't even
prepared.
improve.
That's right.
Okay.
See, I knew Buffy being on my Scooby-Doo team would come in handy. I don't know what
let's
that
see here.
means.
And finally, last thing in the geek news, some quick movie news. Olympus Has Fallen 2, London Has Fallen, is being made, along with a live-action Beauty and the Beast, and, this is for Blake out there, 4 Twilight movies, short films on Facebook.
Wow, I'm so excited.
Oh, you mean all of those are on Facebook or just the Twilight?
No,
one?
just the Twilight's going
Oh,
on Facebook.
okay.
The other 2 movies are being made.
What's left for Twilight? Haven't they already made movies based on the 3 books that were written?
And the best part is that it's not even going to star the main characters.
No, it's
Fan
just
stories.
It's probably going to, what's his name's Werewolf Brethren will probably have an episode, and probably something about what happened to the vampires before they became vampires. Or,
That would probably be more interesting to me than the actual movies.
it can't be much less interesting.
Yeah.
I hope there's a lot of baseball scenes.
But you're going to have to watch it on Facebook?
Yes.
All right, pass.
You're very negative, Blake. Come on,
Yes.
that's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting. I guess I need to watch Olympus Has Fallen.
Is that the end of our news?
Sure.
Or do you still have more you want to
I was
rumble
going to
on
say,
about?
I've heard good things about Olympus Has Fallen.
I've heard things about Olympus Has Fallen.
Jeff, you just need to cut him off, because if you keep letting him go on, he's just going to keep going.
I'm like a stray dog. He's going to keep going.
You just shake them up and let them go.
That's babies.
Oh.
This is wrong.
All right. Well, now it's over.
Wow, it's time to grab your balls of fury. It's Plotlines with Jeff and Jason.
There we go. All right, it's time for Plotlines.
And we're going to dot the I.
Again, Nikki at Pumazili. She
Yes.
really likes to throw us these curveballs.
I asked her to. I asked her to give us some good ones. She never disappoints.
No.
So, let's see here. Blake, would you like to go first on
Sure,
dot
I've got this one nailed.
Okay,
Dot
what you
the
got?
I. I mean, it's so obvious. Dot the I. It is it's an independent comedy film made by art students at the University of Michigan.
Okay.
And it's about essentially a University of Michigan's fraternity plan to basically subvert the Ohio State marching band during the Buckeye-Michigan football game, in which the Ohio State marching band goes and does their script Ohio, but what they do is they kidnap the tuba guy right before he's supposed to go on and dot the I during halftime, and all kinds of hilarity and hijinks ensues.
Okay.
I mean, that's it. I mean, we're done, right?
Well, hold on.
I'm sold.
Oh, wait, but we have Jeff. We have
Jeff
Jeff back here.
Morris. Come on, Jeff. He's stopping by. What do you think, dot the I?
What's dot the I?
I think it's a murder mystery about a writer, and the dot the I is she finds some document or something where a drop of blood dots the I, or it's a he. It's Vin Diesel plays the writer. I'm sure it's Vin Diesel. It's got to have Vin Diesel. As a writer.
As a writer. Of course, that makes complete sense. If I want to cast a writer, Vin Diesel's the first person I think of.
It's Vin Diesel, John Cusack, and then everybody else. But at the end, it turns out that it's the writer who did it.
Okay.
Oh. I'm
And maybe the
guessing-
signature killing is daggers in the eye, dotting the eye.
Ooh. That's being a literal sense.
Yeah. Yes. We're allowed to build on ideas.
Vin Diesel would do that.
That's right. I mean, if you can hire him as a babysitter in a movie. Oh, wait, that's The Rock. Sorry.
Or Hulk Hogan, Mr. Nanny.
Yeah.
I have no clue why it would be called Dot the Eye, but I'm guessing it's a group of South American monster hunters. Maybe a giant alligator or something. Or snakes.
It's Dot the Eye.
I know. But I still have no clue why. That's my guess.
Nick, what do you got?
I think it's going to be some kind of horror film where the lead, the way that they kill him is they leave something in, a letter every time, but they call it dotting the I, where they always take the head.
And dot the I.
Exactly.
Dot the eye.
Wow, this is all awful. Okay, moving on. Blake's got a good one.
I'm
Morris
I'm going off of Blake's. Just throw completely absurd, and you come close.
Okay,
That's right. It can happen.
I'm going to go with a male, growing up 17-year-old boy, wants to become a woman. So he's saving up money. His family doesn't approve of the change, but he doesn't care because that's who he is. And dotting the I refers to the surgery and everything he's going through. That's what I'm going with, dotting the I. And it's going to star Elijah Wood. That's what I'm going.
Have you ever gotten one of these right?
No.
We've gotten.
Blake has gotten close.
We've gotten in the
gotten
right
close twice.
general vein before,
So
but.
what is it, Jeff? What's the dot the I? What is it?
Young lovers in London are wrapped up in a love triangle that may not be exactly what it seems.
Vin Diesel.
Carmen, a beautiful Spanish woman
Vin Diesel?
with a tendency to lose her temper at the drop of a hat, is about to marry Barnaby, a caring, wealthy, but slightly boring Englishman.
Played by Vin Diesel.
Well, out of their friends on her hen night, which I suppose is what the English call bachelorette party.
Oh, okay.
She encounters a stranger who suddenly sparks a passion that has been sleeping within her. As her wedding date approaches, she finds herself struggling to put this newcomer out of her mind. But his effects on her keep growing stronger.
John Cusack.
What is it that he sees in her? Why does she feel like she's being pushed inevitably into his arms? Okay.
Who does it star?
Gail Garcia Bernal. Natalia Verbenke. James Darcy, Tom Hardy, and Charlie Cox.
Tom Hardy? He's close to Vin Diesel.
Who picked Love Triangle?
Jason.
I picked Sex Change.
That
works.
triangle?
Yeah. We're going with that.
All right, Jason's closest, I suppose.
There's your plot lines. Okay, we've got a special guest right now. We've got Joedy Cook, who has been on many, many different cable shows. He's going to sit down with us for a couple minutes. I appreciate you coming by.
Good to have you. Thank you.
Great. So, are you enjoying yourself here at Miamitown?
Oh yeah, I come here every year for this, so it's a good event. Good event.
Now, we talked to a ghost investigator earlier.
Mm-hmm.
You do more of the monster
cryptid.
searches. You get
Cryptid stuff, yeah.
Bigfoot, Mothman, and you've been on several shows
Correct.
on Discovery Channel, Sci-Fi, correct?
Sci-Fi, History Channel, Discovery, or Destination America.
That's what it was.
And things, yeah.
Okay. Of all of them, what do you think has been the best evidence that you have seen so far of something existing out there that people are always kind of skeptical of?
Well, we have hair samples. Okay, we have footprints, castings and stuff. I mean, that's just physical evidence. Mm-hmm. It's circumstantial evidence. The hair samples and things like that. The biggest thing is that in this field, even in ufology or the paranormal, human testimony really doesn't mean anything. Mm-hmm. Okay, human testimony is okay in regular civilian world. Okay, to put someone in jail, put someone to death. Okay, but when in this field, it doesn't mean anything. Mm-hmm. Okay, if you look at the physical evidence, all together that in ufology, paranormal, and cryptozoology, what we have, the circumstantial evidence, okay, it's just as strong, if not stronger, than circumstantial evidence that people have on them that's sitting in jail or even sitting on death row. I mean, honestly, if you think about it, it just goes to how you want to look at it. It's just, the investigation is what researchers do is no different from what the investigation that law enforcement does when you collect the hair samples, when you collect, DNA, when you collect, the physical evidence. It's all processed somewhat the same, okay? And it's the same thing, but it's just how it's looked at by science. Now, this is my view. Science is supposed to be open-minded and objective. They're not. They have one view, and it's their view and their view only. Science does not want to be proven wrong. We all know this. History's not going to rewrite itself. We know, like Christopher Columbus, we know he was not a good guy. Okay?
To say the least.
To say the least. But we're not going to change history because you don't want to give up that free holiday. You don't want to give up, all the perks that go with Columbus Day. Okay, so you're not going to rewrite history because of that. It's the same thing when it comes to, science. So what they'll do is just classify it as something other than what it is because they're not going to want to be proven wrong. Does science know that it exists? Yes, I believe so. If I had $1 million to lay down on a table, to bet, I would bet somewhere in the Smithsonian there's either a body or part of a body of one in the Smithsonian. Because, the Smithsonian they don't even know everything they've got. They're still putting stuff from paper to the computer. And they only put out on display if they only have more than one. So they have so much stuff that they only have one of that's not on display, that's sitting in crates, sitting in boxes under steps, in warehouses and things like that. And they just don't know everything they've got.
So they only put it on display if there's more than one?
If there's more than one.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so if they just got a partial of something, it doesn't go on display.
Now, have you seen more and more, as time goes on, is science more open-minded? Has it gotten more open-minded about everything, or are they still pretty closed-minded field?
I think it's still closed-minded. It's got to the point. I think that it was getting to the point it was getting really accepted until a lot of these shows that are coming on TV now, like. Finding Bigfoot, mountain monsters, monsters in Alaska, swamp monsters, which are just obviously fake shows, are just ridiculous, and they're just making a mockery of the field, and and it's just kind of shooting everything away. It's just making a joke out of everything, and it's making I think the evidence and everything a lot harder for science to really to look at, and they've had so many hoax on bodies and things like that, and if one is actually found, just trying to get science to back it up is going to be a hard thing.
So you mentioned Finding Bigfoot, some of those shows and that. As much, I don't know if it's good, but it brings it to the general public's attention, these shows,
right?
The subject. But do you think they do a lot more harm than good?
I think they do a lot of harm. The thing about Finding Bigfoot, the show Finding Bigfoot, is, and a lot of Bigfoot researchers out there will tell you, there is no experts in this field. They're not. I've been doing this for 25 years, and I'm still learning as I go on. These guys on Finding Bigfoot want you to believe that they're experts. Okay, to me, an expert is someone that is found a group of them, lived with a group of them, was accepted by a group of them, gave them cute little names, was accepted, lived with the family, for months and got to know them, and then then you're an expert on them. Okay, until then you're not. You're not an expert. I mean, to me, finding Bigfoot is a perfect example of what not to do in the field. I have nothing against the guys, but they want to make it that what they say is gold, and it's not. And I think it's really hurting the field.
How did you, Mr. Cook? How did you get interested, for example, finding Bigfoot? What drew you to this field?
I was a UFO investigator, for quite a few years, and we had a live television show we did on public access TV, and this was back in the 80s. And it was a live show we did every Wednesday called UFO Update Live. And you can call in on the show. We had guests and everything like this, so we were getting a lot of Bigfoot reports. Okay, so they wanted someone to take the Bigfoot report. So myself and George Clapperson, who was a friend of mine, we decided to take the cases, because they were just getting a lot of them. I do not believe in a Bigfoot UFO connection whatsoever. I won't even touch a case.
So we shouldn't bring up the old $6 Million Man episodes where Bigfoot was with some mountain people.
Yeah. I mean, I believe it's all coincidence. I believe, that if there's any connection, he's probably getting abducted. If that, but I just don't think he's an alien. I don't think he's a pet. I don't think he's a convict from some alien world or something like that. But that, like I said, that's my opinion and my opinion only. And I don't, I'm not going to sit there and downplay anybody else's opinion on it, because everybody has a right to their own opinion. But I won't touch an investigation that has a UFO in it. I mean, we were just starting to get a lot of these reports, and I decided to go ahead and take them. So I was really getting into them, and stuff. So that's kind of how I got into it. But we're in Ohio. There's a lot of other cryptids. We have the Loveland Frogman. We have Dogman sightings. We have Betsy, which is a lake monster up in the Great Lakes. The Mothman sightings in Ohio. Just a lot of different things. So. There's just kind of, you can't do one without the other, so.
And Nick's favorite one is the Mothman because it freaks him out the most.
Yeah, it's the Mothman. It's kind of a weird cryptid because you just don't know what it is.
But why do you call? You keep saying cryptids. What do you mean by cryptids for the person that's not?
A cryptid is, basically a creature that's not been identified yet.
Oh, so it's an acronym?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just something that has not been identified. That's basic. What the basic word for it. So we just don't know what that is. I mean, he can either be supernatural, he can be an alien, he could be a mutant, some type of mutant bird, something, like I said, extraterrestrial, or just something that was man-made. We just don't know with that particular cryptid.
And so for something like Mothman prophecies, which scares Nick a lot. Well, shaking here as just speak, but
my whole knowledge of it is just from the movie of it, and that's enough to creep me out. Is from the movie of it.
Well,
how accurate, based upon what you know, as compared to what was it George Clooney's movie? Was it Clooney?
Richard Gere.
Yeah.
Oh my
Same
God.
guy.
Yeah, the movie was so far off the book. Okay, I mean, way off.
Hollywood eyes, basically.
Yeah.
Like they always do in Hollywood.
Yeah, Hollywood always. If you guys ever write a book, don't sell it to Hollywood because they're gonna make it out to be something that it's not. It's so far off. Okay.
So as compared to like Bigfoot's pretty, much more out there. Mothman's kind of like Ohio, West Virginia.
It's more West Virginia, but they've had a lot of sightings in Ohio. Well, see, that's just it. No one knows what it's a winged entity is the best way to describe it. About 6 feet, red glowing eyes. There have been different sightings of it as far as different descriptions, as far as where the wings were more under the arm, where it was attached to the body, and there have been sightings where the wings were actually separate. Now, are those two different creatures? Like in Pennsylvania, there've been a lot of sightings of what they call the Butler gargoyle, which was kind of similar to the Mothman, but the wings were a separate part of the body, which was a different case, and that's an ongoing thing going out there.
So what is the Mothman? What's it shows up? What do we think? What's its purpose?
Well, see, that's just it. The whole theory of the Mothman goes all the way back to Mesopotamia, where they had what they call the guardians, were basically like angels that were prophecy of doom. Okay, so we don't know what the Mothman is. Like I said, is he, the angel of death? Is he, some type of, mutant animal? We just don't. That of all the cryptids out there, that's the hardest one to pinpoint of what it is.
So
now,
when he shows up, you or somebody something bad is going to happen.
We don't. In some cases, that's normally how it is, but not in all cases. I mean, there's been a lot of sightings where people have seen them, but nothing bad has ever happened. Okay, see, that's the thing. Now, when 9/11 happened, they were sightings in quite a few videos of a Mothman type creature there. Are they legitimate or not? We just don't know. But there have been a lot more sightings outside of bad things happening.
Now, is that, I feel like Bigfoot is, quote unquote popular, the sightings and everything like that. Everybody knows about it.
Right.
Is Mothman kind of like the lower tier, like you don't hear as much about it? Is there not many sightings?
It's not that. It's one of these cryptids that its sightings happen very rarely. Mm-hmm. Okay. Bigfoot is is like the top of the cryptid. Okay. The second in line, the top cryptids would be your dogman. Okay, which is more like your werewolf type creature, which is very. It's probably one of the biggest. I hate to use this word, but the hottest cryptid out right now because there's a lot of sightings going on in that. Ohio, Pennsylvania are some of the biggest spots. I'm doing an investigation up in Akron, Ohio, up at a metro park up there where they've had sightings up there of this typical Van Helsing style type werewolf, dogman. Okay. I've got eyewitness drawings from people where they've almost hit this thing where it ran out in front of them. I've got an eyewitness drawing from one of the Metro Park officers that's seen it, came face to face with it. The Metro Park is aware of it. Their official word to me was, we're aware of what it is, but we don't like to talk about it. So they know there's something going on in that park. There's another area up there. I talked to a guy that had an encounter with them. Linda Goffrey, who wrote The Beasts of Bray Road. She's a dogman investigator. She was in Norton, Ohio, which is about an hour west.
I'm from Norton, Ohio.
Yeah,
I'm serious. I've lived there all my year 4 to 18.
Yeah, she was there doing an investigation at the same time I was in Akron. And there's a lot of sightings going on up there. Germantown, Ohio is another example. There's a lot of, sightings that's going on. There's livestock that's being killed up there, and stuff. So Shenango Valley up in Pennsylvania, they got a thing called the Shenango Valley werewolf up there. Land between the lakes down in Kentucky. You guys familiar with that? A lot of, they have that park has had over 100 sightings of a dogman creature down there in that particular park.
What makes Ohio, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Kentucky such kind of a hotbed for everything?
I think it's just because the amount of woods, in the environment. I think if you look at the Pacific Northwest, I mean, there's a lot of wilderness there. But when you come further out east, there's just a lot. And the land's a lot more flatter out here. Mm-hmm. Well, once you get up towards the Allegheny Mountains and stuff like that, I mean, it's not. But there's a lot more dense woods. I think has a lot to do with it. And plus, the wildlife here, I mean, there's a lot of deer, and I think that's a lot. And with Ohio, we've never had a bear population in the state of Ohio prior to 1980. Okay, and because they would always migrate from Pennsylvania, come into Ohio, and then go to West Virginia, and then they would migrate back up because of the food source. And just our deer population is just
Through the roof.
went through the roof. The bears stayed in Ohio, so we have 48 counties now that's got black bear.
That's true. If you're a bear, would you rather be in West Virginia or Ohio? I think Ohio.
Ohio. I mean, you think about it. I mean, our deer population. Turkey. I mean, the wildlife and stuff that we have here. I mean, the roadkill alone is enough food. Animals. What people don't understand. Animals don't leave the food source. Okay. Animals only migrate for one reason. Either the food source is gone or the environment changes. That's why in Africa you have a lot of animals that migrate, because you have rainy seasons. When rainy season comes, the floods come. Okay, and the food source is gone and your terrain is gone because of the floods. That's why the animals migrate. Okay, humans, same thing. You grow up, you get married, you move within 1 to 10 miles away from where you grew up. That's it.
Pretty much. That's true.
And that's true. You normally don't leave where you grew up, either from financial purposes or job, or a national disaster. That's it. You stay where you normally were born. You don't leave, your area. And animals are the same way, and things. So people don't really seem to understand that. You take like the show Mountain Monsters, which is, to me, it's a joke. They have all these monsters running around the state of West Virginia. Okay, but no one. I mean, you can go in West Virginia today, and you can ask them about any of those monsters on that show, and they'll laugh at you. There's people who literally laugh at you because they'll tell you none of them exist. No one has ever seen them. And if anybody's ever seen them, monsters don't know borders anyhow. The surrounding states would have seen them anyhow. And if you had a state that had that much monsters running around, there'd be so much government activity going on. So it's ridiculous. So.
Well, I appreciate you. I know you got a forum at 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
So I don't want to keep you too long.
At 3 o'clock. So you have some things that you've wrote. You got some books.
Yeah, I just did a new book called the Mothman Case Book. I got
Case book, and that's by Joedy Cook.
Joedy. They go on Amazon.com to find all my books. I have a magazine also called Cryptid Seekers Magazine. It's a new magazine I have out. I got the first 3 issues out. Going to be working on the next issue in about a month and a half. You can find that on MacLeod.com. And stuff. So
if you got links to that, we give it to Jason here. We'll put it up on our Facebook site.
Yep.
People that are interested want to check it out. Go.
Yeah, and I'm always looking for writers for the magazine. If anybody has any good stories, or love to write about, cryptids or even ghost stuff, I'll put it in the magazine because it's all part of, what a lot of people don't understand, cryptozoology, and ufology, all that stuff came out of the paranormal. So, it all wraps up in one.
Excellent.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And that music means it's time for Top 5.
Top 5 at the Paranormal Fest in Miamitown. Can I just say real quick for a second, to our left, there are mannequin heads in a cabinet wearing old lady hats, and it's kind of creeping me out because they keep staring at me.
They do keep staring at you.
Yeah, and I don't think they're here for the Paranormal Fest. I think they're a normal addition to the town hall here.
And
They look scary.
They do look. Mannequin heads.
Mannequin heads are always scary. They're disembodied mannequin heads.
They keep looking at me no matter where I move. They're looking at me.
Do want to thank Joedy Cook for stopping by. That was great.
Yes.
We'll have some links for him too. That you can check out his books. So I'm just glad that he, does not believe in the Finding Bigfoot guys as much as I do. So I'm very happy with that. Good old Bobo.
All right, so I suppose on to the top 5. Well, we're sitting over here, and at the Paranormal Fest, they are auctioning off or raffling off a barrel of spirits.
Yes.
Barrel of spirits.
So you guys got some money down on the big box of booze over there.
Yes. Did it seem like, a lot of people have put in for the barrel of spirits? So I think me, Nic, and Blake have a really good shot at this.
We at least have a 30% chance.
I think so, because nobody's really looked at it.
But in honor of the barrel of spirits, our top 5 is our top 5 adult beverages.
Yes, non-geek related. First non-geek related top 5.
I don't know, geeks drink.
Nah, that's true. That's true.
Sometimes they drink some of the best drinks.
That's right.
That's right.
Number 5, Blake. What is your number 5?
I'm claiming the bottle of amaretto. The bottle of amaretto in the big box of spirits over there. I love amaretto. I can do it with Coke. I can do it with orange, or I can just do it straight up on ice. Yo. I pour some out for my homies.
Number 5 for me is an old school. This is going to make me sound really bad, but back when I was in the 20s, I used to hang out with you guys.
Hey, what are you doing there?
Yeah, in the 1920s.
What do you got there?
Snake bite. Yukon Jack, lemon juice.
Oh, my friend from college, that was his favorite shot.
I've got a bottle of Yukon Jack you can have that I think Jeff's brother might have given me for my 21st birthday that has never been opened.
Well, Nic, you remember I used to buy the snake bites. Remember that at the bars?
You would buy them all the time.
I am so disappointed in you when you said snake bite. Now this is where my history of culture and traveling around the world as a sailor comes in. I first was introduced to a snake bite back in the late 1980s.
Okay.
I was illegal, of course. I was under 21, but I was in a foreign country called London, England.
That counts.
And that's where I got snake bites. It was a half lager, half cider, and you can get something that's called striking it black, which usually is like throwing in like a shot of like something dark, like a blackberry cordial. I was so enthralled with this drink. When I came back to the States and I was finally turned 21, I said, I want a snake bite. And they kept, give me your damn shot, Jason. I said, no, I want a half lager, half cider. And this is big. They're like, what is cider? It's like a cider. It's an alcohol cider. And let me just say, it's taken about 30 years for America to catch up, but you can actually go to places and ask for a snake bite and get a half lager, half cider. That's educated, not the liquor shot that you had, Jason.
Yukon Jack, lemon juice. But
half
again,
cider, half lager, strike it black.
It could be like a movie from your childhood. You thought it was really awesome, and if you've had it recently, it may not be. And I think my Yukon Jack is not going to be or my snake bite is not going to be very good if I tried it now.
I don't know.
I'm up for it.
It's one of the shots that I may do. And I'm not a big shot drinker, so.
No.
See, I'm just glad that I ended up with the bottle of Yukon Jack that I never opened, because the other bottle that I had the option of was a bottle of Southern Comfort that ended up with one of our other friends. And let's just say that night ended very badly for him. And 15 years later, he still will not drink Southern Comfort.
What's your number 5?
Number 5 for me is tequila.
Oh, I think I've had
tequila.
one of those nights on tequila that I won't drink it anymore.
That was my number 3.
Oh, take it off the board.
No, I've built up a natural resistance to tequila because my big brother in the fraternity would make me do shots without salts and lemons. So to this day, I can still impress people by just drinking it straight.
If you have the right tequila, you don't need salt and lemon.
That's
Patron.
correct.
Patron.
Yeah, but we're talking America here 20 years ago. This was bad tequila. The stuff they have today, it's smooth and nice. The good stuff. You're absolutely right.
I do love some tequila. I've had some rough nights from tequila. I don't think that anybody that ever says I love tequila has not had a rough night from tequila.
I could say I hate tequila, and it's because I've had rough nights from tequila.
With us?
You probably even before you guys. I don't know if I've even done tequila with you.
I think you've done Patron with me.
I think you made me do a shot one time.
Probably his bachelor party. I bought the bottle for his bachelor party, and everybody took a shot before we went
That's
out.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. Because good stories don't start off with salads.
That's right.
Right? That's how it
So I
goes.
was tossing a salad.
Whoa, wait a minute. Unless you're in jail. Wait a minute.
Or Jeff's Saturday night.
Oh, no.
Which we don't judge. Good for you.
I don't want to know.
Congratulations. Okay, Jeff was number 5.
My number 5 is a Tom Collins. It's just pretty
Tom
much-
Collins, see?
Yeah. It's one of
Are you
old-timey-
87?
No, I don't do a lot of drinks. That's one of them I can. You know, gin and bitters. I mean, it's bar
Before the
lemon.
Tom
I mean,
Collins, I'm in a highball. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just hit a man.
I don't like that. I like the Tom Collins. It's gin. Okay, I'll call it something else. I'm sorry. I like to do a gin and lemon. How's that?
Okay. Isn't that called a gimlet?
No, that's vodka.
I just like how we didn't even give you a shot out of the gate. You're number 5, and we're just attacking.
You do that every week. So.
Chop it down.
All right, so start with our 4 then.
What's your number 4, Jeff?
My number 4 is a Screaming Dead Nazi.
I don't know what that is.
What is that?
It is a shot combination of Jägermeister, Rumpelmintz, and 151 rum.
Wow.
See, it surprises me this is number 4 on your list, Jeff, because as long as I've known you, it's pretty much been strictly beer, only beer, just beer.
Well, we've got 3 more left on my list. I mean, beer. I could just put beer for top 5, but
Is the Screaming Dead Nazi?
Dead Nazi.
Is that like, I'm not being funny, is that like a common drinker? Like,
Yeah,
if
you
you
can
went
look it
to a
up.
bar
If you-
anywhere in the country, they would know what that
I
is?
don't know if the bartender would. If you type into your online
It's on there?
bartender
Okay.
guide, it's on there.
Okay, I've never heard of it. I was just wondering.
I think it's a Screaming Nazi. No, it's a Dead Nazi, I think, without the rum, but you add the rum, it's Screaming Dead Nazi. I mean, we did this in college long before I even knew what it was called. I found out it was called just a couple of years ago. But yeah, that's what it is on online bar guides. So.
Okay. And Nick, what's your number 4?
For mine, my number 4 is craft beer in pretty much just about any.
Really? That's how basic you went?
That's how basic I went, just because I was turned on to just the craft beer scene a few years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, and pretty much any more won't drink that much more other than that. For me, slumming it anymore would be drinking a Sam Adams.
I don't disagree with you because I cannot drink Miller Lite, Bud Light, anything. And I'm not trying to be snobbish, but it is true. Like
I'll drink it if I'm doing, like, I go on a golf outing every year in the spring, and I'll drink stuff like that down there just because you're going to drink a lot of volume.
Yeah.
But anymore, when I drink a beer, I'm drinking 1 or 2 beers a night, and if I'm going to drink it, I want to drink something good.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
No, and then our city here in Cincinnati has a huge, big craft beer scene that's exploding on the market. I mean, there's too many to count even more breweries that are popping up all over the place.
So just a recent example, I was on vacation, and we stopped on our way home at a place that had a huge craft beer selection, and I just happened to look at their board, picked one out, and just loved it. And it ended up being in English. I didn't know what it was until I looked it up after I got home. It was a beer from England. It's from Ilkley, Ilkley brewery. It's called the Mayan. It's a chocolate, it's chocolate chipotle stout.
Wow.
Ouch.
It was fantastic. And I've looked for it since I've been home, and I can't find it anywhere that it's distributed in the United States, so I don't know how they got the keg of it that they were serving, but I wouldn't have tried it if I wasn't turned on to it.
I would like to change my number 4. Now it should be just general craft beer. Damn it, that's a good one, Nick. But I'll do craft beer / but I don't want to copy off you. Number 4 for me, it's just because of the summertime in that summer shandy. It's line and Googles. It's great. It's just really damn good.
It's a nice, refreshing after a hot day out.
Yeah, cutting grass or something.
That is correct. And when back in the days, again, I'm talking. When I was in Germany, I was in the summertime. We were in a beer garden with some German friends that I had known because they'd married some Spanish girls that I was friends with at the time. And we went and we were sitting down and it was hot, and I saw them pouring lemonades in the beers. I'm like, what the hell is that? They're like, oh, it's a Radler. I'm like, and then they're pouring Coca-Cola in the beers. I'm like, oh, what's that? It's Pool. I'm like, how come we don't do this stuff in the States? What's up with that?
20 years later.
20 years later, now it's here.
You just took you a while to bring it back for us.
Took a while. I kept asking for it in the bars and pubs, and I kept getting kicked out. And now I know. Now they got it there.
They're like, we only got Tom Collins.
We only got yeah, see?
Get you Tom Collins or a Manhattan.
You got some Budweiser. We got some Budweiser and Busch, hey?
Manhattan. Good. What's your number 4, Blake?
My number 4, I like doing Dr. Pepper's, the alcoholic version.
The flaming version?
Yes. Nice. I haven't done those since college, but they still taste good.
They still taste good even though I haven't done one in 20 years?
That's right. Even though I haven't done one in a while. I still want to. It's just I'm just too old for that shit now.
Yeah,
Never too old.
Wow. What's your number 3?
Number 3 is we'll stick with the German Biergarten. I like any German Helles, any Hefeweizen.
Good call. Good call.
Yep. I'll drink it.
Damn. I'm really suck on my top 5. There's a lot of good stuff out there. I want to kick my snake bite off. I want to put craft beer at number 5.
Too late, already said.
Damn it.
Oh, you're number 3, Jay?
My number 3's out, tequila.
Tequila.
How is it that this is like the most aggressive and non-aggressive top 5, and I got eliminated?
Only one, come on.
So
number 3.
For number 3, I narrowed my craft beer because that step up from one is, as Jeff was saying, the local breweries in Cincinnati. There's a brewery called Rheingeist. More definitively on that is their beer that they have. It's Truth IPA and their Franz Oktoberfest. Both of those are fantastic, and they make my list at number 3.
You do love that. I do remember. After softball, you do get some of that, don't you?
Rheingeist.
It's a good brewery. It's a small brewery. They're growing in Canning here in Cincinnati, but they're really good.
Jeff, what's your number 2 or 3?
My number 3 are any and all of those chillos that Blake has made and brought to the studio.
There are some good chillos.
We'll have to ask Neil and Annalise if they started making them. And
they did.
And
I think they did.
Now are they aging them properly?
I don't know.
At least you got to go at least 10 days.
At least 10 days. But we'll find out how they like them. But
the longer it goes, the smoother it'll get.
It is good.
Yes, but I'm voting for the
Blake's there is
Chillos.
A bottle of limoncello in the barrel of spirits, and I just looked at it and laughed. I was like, hi, one of you guys can have that.
Because they don't compare to Blake's.
That's right.
Have you had Blake's limoncello?
No, I have not.
I mean Blake's limoncello.
Oh, that.
You know, I got some arancetta left over. I'll bring some more next time.
Jeff, what's your number 2?
My number 2, I'm just going
Manhattan.
Broad. No, I'm going into the beer section now. I'm just going like the Pilsner style beer.
Okay. Any specific?
No, just pretty much all. I mean, well, like I know Nick just mentioned the IPA, and I know that's an in thing right now, but I'm just not a fan of the IPAs.
I love the IPAs.
Too hoppy for me. And it's like I like beer and all, but those just and it seems to be in like everything is an IPA.
Yeah.
I want to try something new, and they're all IPAs.
I think it's more of an acquired taste where you have to start with something that's a little bit lighter.
Yeah.
Start with like a session IPA that's a little bit lower alcohol content, and move up. Find something that tastes good.
But there's plenty of other things out there that I like, so I'll just drink those.
Okay. What's your number 2, Nick?
My number 2 is going still with the beer theme with the craft beer, and it's any Founders Brewery beer. For me, Founders. If I only could drink beer from one brewery forever, it'd be Founders. Theirs is fantastic. I've never had a bad beer from them. Specifically, their Backwoods Bastard beer, which is coming up. The release is in November. If anybody of the listeners have access to it, I highly recommend it. It is number 1 on my all-time list, even ahead of some of the other Founders beer that get rated higher than them with their breakfast stout and their Kentucky bourbon stout and some of their really high IPAs, but just anything from Founders.
And if people from Founders are listening, you can send us free samples.
Yes.
At the History of Bad Ideas, care of the Bob Studios.
Yes. At the History of Bad Ideas, historyofbadideas@gmail.com. You can email us, please. My number 2 is something that gets me supposedly, I don't know, jump on couches, I don't know. Cherry Coke and vodka.
Is that your secret to winning dance contests?
It kind of is.
Well, actually, it's just cherry vodka and Coke.
Cherry vodka and Coke, I'm sorry. Sorry.
But I suppose you could just do vodka and cherry Coke, and it'll probably taste
Is it the same or is it different?
Nope. Coke and cherry vodka. That is gotten really darn good. Your sister got me hooked on it, and I curse her every time, but allegedly I dance on couches with it. I don't know.
I saw it happen.
I don't remember that. But it is so damn sweet and so damn good. So yes, I'm going with that. Blake, what's your number 2?
I like a good sangria. I'm not talking about, laxy commercial stuff. I'm talking about a good sangria that is made with, some good red wine, a lot of good fruit. You got to have the right amount of brandy in there, and I don't want wine with fruit in it. I want sangria. I want red wine. I want brandy, and I want fruit.
Does your wife drink the same stuff that you do?
She's all stuck on these. What's it? Sweet white wine. I forget.
Oh, okay.
She's stuck on these Asti Moscato di Astis.
Okay. I didn't know because you make some good alcohol, so I was just wondering.
Yeah. She knows the limiter touches to the limoncello has bad effects on her.
What's your number 1?
My number 1, I'll tell you what. I used to make these when I lived on the beach in Spain, and my buddy Whit Robinson used to hang out, and we would talk to the senoritas because my balcony was on the beach, and beneath the balcony was a payphone, and all them Spanish girls used to line up and would talk on the payphone for like an hour at a time.
How many quarters did they put in?
You didn't need quarters, just needed pesetas.
My bad.
So we would sit there, I would mix White Russians. And, when the dude came out, he's making White Russians, I started laughing really hard because I was like, that is so epic. You can't turn down a good White Russian.
Okay. Women or?
Both.
Okay. The dude abides.
The dude abides.
I am doing a tie. It's all from the same company, New Holland.
Oh, okay.
Based in Michigan, New Holland Brewing Company. Unbelievable stuff. The only bad one they have is the Monkey King, which is nasty. But I love their New Holland Ichabod, which only comes out in the fall because it's a pumpkin beer. I don't like pumpkin beers except for this one.
You need to try the local Mad Tree pumpkin beer.
Really?
Yes, it's very good.
I've tried a lot of pumpkin beers and they all suck except for the
you
Ichabod.
can buy a 6-pack, and if you drink the one and don't want the other 5, I'll take them off your hands.
Okay. But I love the Ichabod. I love the Mad Hatter. So they have a couple versions of the Mad Hatter. So if you hear this, New Holland in Michigan, great brewery, New Holland Ichabod and Mad Hatter is my number 1.
Sounds like we need to take a Michigan brew trip because
Yes.
that's where Founders is as well as in Michigan.
It's worth it. What's your number 1, Nick?
My number 1 is bourbon.
Just bourbon?
Bourbon.
Straight?
Neat. See, anybody that drinks bourbon with anything other than just water added to it is drinking it wrong. You cut bourbon with a small amount of water to bring it around 40% alcohol, and that's all that's needed. Anybody that drinks it in ice is bastardizing that bourbon.
Wow, a little serious.
Personally, I prefer Four Roses and Blanton's. It would be my 2 choices if I had to buy a good bottle, but I'll try any of it.
So you're saying your water is not allowed to be in solid form when you add it, huh?
Correct. It doesn't distribute properly. You end up when you start, it's solid, good, crisp bourbon. By the time you get done, you're drinking water.
Oh, you don't drink fast enough then.
Nick likes to sip it.
I like to sip it too, but
Well,
I've never had
that's why-
ice in a drink melt that quickly for me.
You enjoy it.
What's your number 1, Jeff?
My number 1, still sticking with beer because beer is my number 1, but specifically a Dunkelweizen.
Okay.
It's the kind of a dark wheat beer.
Ugh.
What?
I love me a Dunkel also.
Yeah. But it's the combination between the wheat beer and the dark beer, so Dunkelweizen.
Okay.
Everybody should drink them so they become more popular so I can just get them everywhere.
So there's your first non-geek top 5.
I still think geeks drink.
Well, we do drink. So, bad idea of the week. Let's go 171. I think we've had that one before. 172. Don't piss on a grave.
Oh, can you spit on one?
You can pour vodka on one.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, unless you're giving some to your home.
Yeah.
right.
That's just respect.
Or don't, if it's my grave, don't pour tequila on it.
Oh, I will. I'm going to. So in probably like 2 years. I told you only have to live past 2015. I need somebody to go see Avengers with me.
Okay. So as long as I live for Avengers 2.
Yes.
Okay.
So there you go. There's your second episode from the Miamitown Paranormal Festival. Roger says goodbye.
Goodbye.
You are now leaving the world of Musings of a Geek podcast network. Stay geeky, my friends.